In this very first lesson, we're going to learn the parts of the violin and how to stand in rest position and in playing position, as well as your first song, which is the ant song. So let's start with the parts of the violin. It might be helpful to find your own violin and identify these parts yourself on your own instrument. So this is the front of the instrument, and this is the back of the instrument. These are called the bouts, or the shoulders of the instrument. Sometimes we hold it by the bouts. This here is the neck of the violin. It's made out of wood. This is where our hand is placed on the instrument. And this is the fingerboard, which runs up and down most of the length of the instrument underneath our strings. And that's where we place our fingers to make the different notes on the instrument. This piece of wood right here is called the bridge. It's a very delicate piece of wood, and it keeps the tension of the strings really tight so that we can get a beautiful tone when we pluck or bow our instrument. These holes here allow sound to project out of the instrument. Those are called our F holes. Aren't they beautiful? They're fancy Fs. This is called a chin rest. That's where the side of our jaw is placed. This is a tailpiece, which holds the strings in place. And on the tailpiece, you'll see fine tuners. You probably have 4 of them. I only have 1, and this is used for small adjustments on the instrument. Up here you have tuning pegs. And these, hopefully, you won't need to use, but these are for larger adjustments of the pitch of your strings. This is the scroll. And of course, the strings. We have the highest pitch string, which is E, and then A, D, and G is our lowest one. So on the back of the instrument, you'll see I have a shoulder rest. So let's practice putting our shoulder rest on. So with the violin in your left hand, take the shoulder rest so that the thick side is on top, and you want to latch those little legs over the bottom part of the back, and then slide the other set of legs on this part. And it should be really firm so it doesn't fall off. It should look like that. Like an upside down smile. Okay, so next we're gonna see how to stand with our violin in rest position. So if you can see my feet, first I'm gonna start with my feet together, and then I make a V, and then I step my feet apart and sway from side to side. And then bend your knees. You wanna feel really rooted and grounded. And then sway from side to side and balance over the balls of your feet. So that's underneath your big toes. Your heels can lift off a bit, just so you can see my heels lifting off a little bit. All right, so this is our how we stand when we're playing the instrument. And now the violin is safely resting in rest position underneath my right arm. I kind of tuck it in here, the strings pointing outward. And now with your left hand, you're gonna slide up and down the fingerboard. I normally draw 2 X's in their hand. We call those magic X's, and I say slide up and down on your magic X's. I also put a sticker on the instrument right about here. We call it their high dot. And we tap over the high dot. Tap, tap, tap a few times. So slide up and down the fingerboard, tap, tap, tap. And now your thumb always goes on one side of the fingerboard and the fingers on the other. You see that? So thumb on top, fingers wrapped around. And if you can, grab at the base of the neck like this. And now show me your violin. We're going to practice standing like this. We call this a Statue of Liberty. We can go way up high, like the Statue of Liberty, just to gain some strength in our arm. So put it back in rest position. So we're practicing how to safely go from rest position to Statue of Liberty. And then turn your violin upside down. We're going to place it on our left shoulder. We're going to find a spot where it doesn't rock back and forth too much. I'm going to call that our shelf. So it's latched a little bit over our left shoulder and down our chest a little bit. There shouldn't be any gaps between the shoulder rest and your body. Okay, so that's find your shelf. Next thing, just turn your head to the left towards the instrument, and then rest your chin and your jaw down on the chin rest. Okay, and then you can practice holding it without using your hand. And in playing position, we can slide up and down the fingerboard and tap over the high dot. Great. Next thing we're going to learn how to do is play our first song, which is called the Ant Song. All right, so in playing position, make a backwards L with your right hand, and you're going to put your thumb 1 inch into the side of the fingerboard, and we're going to pluck each string 3 times. And the song goes like this. Each and every ant, digging in the dirt, underneath the ground. You can also practice that just in resting position, guitar style, with your plucking with your thumb. So it might be easier for you sometimes to even just sit on the ground and try this. So each and every ant, digging in the dirt, underneath the ground. One more fun thing I like to do with the kids is I like to play the music to Pop Goes the Weasel and let them play the pop part. So the pop part goes like this. All right, so it's E-A, and that's Pop Goes the Weasel. So I play round and round the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel, the monkey thought it was all fun, the weasel. So you see they have to be ready to pluck E and then A. So let's try that. Get your thumb 1 inch into the side of the fingerboard with your index finger ready to pluck the E string, and then get it on the second string, the A string, ready? And then you have to do that in quick succession, like this. And then you'll be ready to play with me for Pop Goes the Weasel. So let's stand in rest position, feet together, violin underneath our right arm, and let's practice taking a nice bow. So we're going to bend at the hips. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So let's try that again. We're going to bend down on 2. Ready? So 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. Try and practice this over again if you can. Bye-bye.